This is what drive Mark, a doctor who has a worldwide reputation for researching vitamin D3 on cold prevention, advises in a paper. So many people talk about cold shots that don't work. And they always talk about polio shots. As I mention it, I remind you that, thanks to the vaccination, polio has been eliminated. It was almost 60 years ago that there was a polio shot. But what many people don't know is that because of the polio vaccine, the story of polio being eliminated is just speculative. It's not a scientifically proven fact. Statistics show that when vaccinations began at the time, the incidence of polio was already significant. I can see that it was starting to fall, and the fact that polio treatment has led to a significant increase in the incidence of polio afterwards. I'm able to check it out. Anyway, what is the basic cause of catching a cold? Wouldn't you catch a cold almost in the summer? Are you saying that the cold virus only survives in winter? Scientifically speaking, whether we catch a cold, whether it's the season, whether it's vaccination or not, or people around us who catch a cold, it has nothing to do with the transmission of germs because people are there. The underlying reason for catching a cold is that our immune system is weakened. There are two main reasons why our immunity is waning. It's stress and malnutrition, according to a study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, a British medical journal. Among the experimenters who were exposed to the cold, there were people who had respiratory infections. In these cases, they are under stress so high that their immune function decreases. It has been confirmed that we never catch a cold when our immunity is strong. The reason why we catch a cold in late autumn and winter is that our immunity is the most degraded during this period. It's because there's a situation that's easy to do. The exhaustion of the mind and body from the Christmas holidays, the burden of the body from the cold, lack of adequate exercise, lack of sleep, more frequent drinking, and excessive intake of sugary foods. It weakens the immune system, which must prevent disease and infection. In addition, during this period, the levels of vitamin D3, which is most important for maintaining immune function, are at their lowest levels. To boost immunity to avoid catching a cold, the immune system in our body is divided into two parts. You must understand the facts. 1. Originally, the primary immune system was born. 2. Immune system secondary to adaptation. Originally, the innate immune system is designed to protect against the risks that arise today. The reaction is widespread because there are no specific targets. If you've been bitten by an insect, neutropharyngeal leukocytes as the wound becomes swollen. When you're stabbed by a nail, macrophages and NK cells primarily process bacteria or viruses that enter through the wound. On the other hand, the function of the secondary immune system to adapt is very distinct. Specifically, it reacts by making antibodies that can attack a particular kind of bacteria or viruses. If we ever had chicken pox when we were kids, our secondary immune system is special to permanently prevent chicken pox. That may come in again in the future. It creates cells. Of course, the back dynamic system gradually develops over time and strengthens further. The flu shot is not a liquid that kills the cold virus. It's just an inactivated cold virus with a mixture of various chemical compounds. In the future, the same type of virus has already formed perfect antibodies in the body. The goal is to prepare the immune response to prevent it from happening immediately. Then, how do you determine the cold virus when you make a cold vaccination? The type of virus that will be used in this year's cold injection in the U.S. will be used in the previous year. It is selected as the type that caused the cold in Asia. Yes, I'm guessing that the virus will come to the U.S. as well. This is how the flu shot is supposed to prevent only one particular type of virus. It's what I'm trying to do. It seems like a very good way. But is it really? The problem is that the cold virus is different every year. In other words, the antibodies produced by this year's vaccination will be useless next year. Next year, our bodies will have to make new antibodies against new kinds of viruses. But there is no way to find out what the virus is going to be like next year. Well, the probability of getting it right is more difficult than the probability of winning a lottery ticket. Once in a lifetime, figuratively speaking. So how can you fundamentally prevent a cold? Yes, it strengthens the innate primary immune system. If it's strong, no matter what virus it attacks. Because it can be prevented immediately. How can I strengthen my primary immune system? Many reputable scientists believe that the only major cause of the flu is vitamin D3 deficiency. It is no coincidence that the season of frequent colds coincides with the season of vitamin D3 deficiency. As sunlight decreases, vitamin D3 levels in the body of the right eye decrease, and the incidence of flu increases rapidly. Statistics show that this happens in the cold season in the U.S., when the amount of sunlight is significantly reduced, and in the tropics. It's easy to see that it happens during the rainy season. If you look at a recent study published in the journal Epidemiology and Epidemiology, vitamin D3 is different from the antimicrobial peptides that make cells. We find that they dramatically promote the expression of genes. It's our immune cells. According to the study, AMP shows a wide range of antibiotics and disables flu viruses. The fact that I'm letting you do it was also revealed in the Cannell J. et al. Epidemiological inspection. The important fact is that AMP is not made in our body without vitamin D3. Another study published in the Journal of the American Nephrology suggests the following important facts. 1. Without vitamin D3, our cells cannot respond adequately to pathological or physiological signals. 2. Macrophages, or immune cells, use vitamin D3 to create bacteria-killing peptides, which are used when bacteria or viruses invade. 3. Vitamin D3 allows the genetic program that makes antibiotic peptides inside immune cells in the primary innate immune system to work well. In another research paper, we can see that similar research results to the above have been obtained. If you don't have enough vitamin D3, your immune system will stop you from bacteria or viruses. Become dysfunctional. A double-blind method published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Studies have shown that children who consumed 1,200 IU of vitamin D3 daily during the winter months, children who get vaccinated are 4 times less likely to catch a cold than they are. After 2 years of this study, the amount of vitamin D3 was raised to 2,000 IU. Then, surprisingly, nearly 100% of the flu or cold was prevented. Only 1 child in 104 subjects showed cold symptoms. If you look at another paper in the Journal of Epidemiology and Inspection, in addition to the fact that children's lack of vitamin D3 makes it easier to infect their respiratory organs, when vitamin D3 is supplemented, we find that respiratory infections are significantly reduced. T cells get rid of cancer cells. They also prevent infection. They are the immune cells that are absolutely necessary for our immune system. In particular, T cells work throughout the secondary immune system. But the fact that these T cells can't move at all without vitamin D3 has led to numerous studies. So it's been revealed that there are a lot of respiratory infections in children born by pregnant women who lack vitamin D3. Isn't it obvious? The bottom line is that vitamin D3 is a nutrient that should not be deficient. I hope that the cold winter will be healthy by adding wisdom to knowledge.